I'm going to be starting now. So a couple things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be working on some sessions, some exercises the outside mids can do, but I'm going to be kind of putting in the field where we use these things. So in a 3-3-5-2 or 3-4-3 system, and a center back on the outside gets the ball, unfortunately some are outside mids assuming that the long ball might be coming, so they just go up or they just wait where they are by the pressure. So number one, you need to recognize that pressure is coming to the player, so he does not see that long ball or she does not see that long ball. So the movement is, if you're in here, you go wide and back as you can and wait on the line will be good. If the pressure is close, you can even go deeper than the player with the ball just to get an angle. So if you get the ball in here, you can make a long ball to start another attack. That's where the defense is going to be compact in the center, so they're going to be opening that outside area. So it will be useful for you guys to get used to that movement as an outside mid when you're not given the chance to see that option. Does that make sense? So let's go back. So what if there is no pressure in here and the outside back is dribbling forward, and we are in a situation like we have some space in here? So again, this time he can go, if the pressure is coming from, he can go wide and even further. Okay, when the pressure is coming, as long as the pass comes steady and your first touch goes wide. A lot of times outside mids, when they can go forward, they control the ball towards the center, and most of the time that's where the defender is going to be. All the time, really. Like, nobody's going to defend somebody from here. Okay, that will be probably rec soccer, or worse, like just start bumblebee soccer. But this is in an organized select soccer game, you're not going to come from there. So you need to get used to outside mids touches are different than center mids. Yesterday we worked with, in the session that we did, I worked with some different things, and then our even pro players, it is struggle with the outside mids touch because they're center mids. So the center mids usually control it close to their body and keep it in here so they can see the next ball and pass. But outside mid, if they have the space, they can touch it to space, so they can use that space and move in right away. Does that make sense? Another thing the outside mid needs to recognize, now we're going to be talking about that. Let's just say a center mid has the ball. Outside mid is being marked, tied with this guy. They saw that this guy might be giving a pass to him, so he runs to defend that, but that actually opens up the through ball, right? So he goes outside the player and goes for the through ball, and this could be in an even closer setup, even around here. Let's just say we give it to this guy, and this guy is being marked, and this guy looks up. This guy goes a little bit wider because he's thinking that a wide ball might come. This is the perfect opportunity for a through ball, and he makes a diagonal onto the shoulder of the player, and he's one-on-one with the keeper now. Hopefully he will score. So outside mid movements, you see those three scenarios, and as well as the crossing, we're going to be going over that, as well as a defensive position. Okay, defensive position, let's go back to that, and outside mid's defensive position. So when the ball comes to this player, okay, he's going to be wide, of course, if he's a good outside mid. This is a bad outside mid, really. A good outside mid will be receiving it right here. And if you're going to be defending him, you're going to be going more towards the center right here, right? Don't defend him in here and give him the center and let him beat you and see a more dangerous opportunity. So you're always going to be going to the center and back pedal like this. So left to right, left to right, left to right, or right to left, left to right. Like, so whatever side you're facing, you just need to make sure it's smooth. And in the exercise, we're going to be showing you guys that. Okay? You see that when I'm backing up, I'm not going back up straight, because if I'm in a good position and he's dribbling, right? He's coming with the ball. Let's not forget the ball. If I'm dribbling back up like this, it's sooner or later, I'm going to give him the center. So when you're backing up, you're going to kind of back up to an angle, like you're going to go towards the goal and give him the outside. You can't go too far, of course, then, he has a shot. But you need to kind of go maybe around here, you stop, and if he's making a mistake, you can step and steal the ball. Okay? Any questions about that? Because we're gonna go into the videos now, exercises. I want you guys to start coming up with questions. I do not want to have a quiet night of no questions, guys, please. All right, let me get the volume up all the way. As you can see, we're doing the social distancing, so that requires all the coaches to wear masks, and we do not train anybody more than 5. So we are trying to be careful, even with the pros. Like I said, this is my own private session. All right, guys, and I will still be talking to you guys.
Okay. What we're going to be working on is outside mid movement. There's a couple of things outside mid's going to do. We're going to set up like this. You see 3 cones in here. Let's see.
About 5-6 yards,
6
guys.
yards.
5-6 yards.
Yep, around each other. 3 cones, 6 yards from each other in the same line.
For the coach, whoever's going to pass the ball, I'll say in between those 2 cones, right here, about 15 yards.
15 yards away.
Okay. About 8 yards, 9 yards away is that cone. So there's 5 cones to do this session. The player is going to start in the middle. First one he's going to do is we're going to be thinking about.
So I want you guys to visualize, you see the blue line where the defender is waiting up there, of the player with the penny. The blue line is the outside line in this session. So the blue line representing the outside line. So outside mid line is that line. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that and keep looking at that blue line for that.
We are back in defensive area, okay? Let's just say your center back got the ball. So instead of running forward, there's pressure coming at him. You're going to be sprinting right here and showing up as wide as you can on the line, receiving the ball, touching, and going to pass the straight ball to the player on the right mid or right forward. You understand? That's your movement. The right forward is going to be finding that. Now you're going to.
So do you understand that? So first you go in between those 4 cones. You see that 3 cones in here and 2 cones are here. This is where the player, if you guys gonna do this session with your mom, dad, brother, or one of your friends, the player is to pass the ball from here. So the first cone right here is when you're in defensive half, you're gonna be backing up fast right away, okay?
Come back to here again, to the middle. Then.
Oi!
Okay.
So let's go to the next one. I don't know, I'm going to ask the coaches to make it longer sessions so I can edit it, because they cut it short, small videos, so it makes it really hard for me to control, but we'll do it like this. Movement number 2. So the first cone, it represents you back up because you're in defensive side.
If I'm this far from the line, I'm not going to back up from here. The outside mid body movement requires you go wide first, then back up, so you have a lot more space away from the defensive line. Does that make sense? Okay, next one up there, go again, sprint there, open your shoulder, touch, look up, touch it a bit longer next time, move with the ball, cross it, and we're good.
So the next one right here, the first one is going to be touch and a long ball to this on the line to the outside forward. Next cone right here, unfortunately we didn't have a long, I don't know why we didn't record that whole explanation in one video, but I'll explain this to you guys. So here, when the ball comes to you, you're going to touch it with one touch moving forward. Not towards the red is where the pressure is going to be coming from, so you want to keep it away from that. So you're going to touch it wide and you're going to cross. So where you don't see right now, there's a goal and there is a player, a forward waiting for the cross. Okay, so let it.
Defensive shake, then through ball. Give me a couple more.
All right, let's see.
If I'm
the next one right away. Like I said, I would prefer longer videos so I can edit them. Let's see.
To the middle. And keep it in.
So now, do you see that I'm actually explaining in here? The ball is coming. We need to touch it to open space away from the red line. Keep it on the blue line. And you can actually right away beat the player. Most of the time, outside mids, they try to win the first ball. If they do not win the first ball, your first touch is going to beat them dramatically. So we need to make sure that you understand that touch needs to be long. So we want to make sure that we do a better job with our touches, and so we can create an opportunity to cross the ball.
You do not, most of the time when you touch it this way, the ball, you need to do a second touch to keep going.
See, when you touch it opposite foot, he's saying left foot touch could make the ball move towards the outside. It's still a decent touch, but it could go outside. But if you touch it with your right foot and block it and not moving towards the red line but the blue line and keep it as wide as you can, you're going to have more opportunities to cross the ball. Okay?
On the field, so it's a better touch, keeping your foot up, go up like this, set it up there.
You see the technique? Heel down, toe up.
You understand? So you want to make sure, give me a ball for a second. Now we're going to feet. So the ball is moving, right? You always need to make sure you are this side of the ball. You do not want to run after the ball like this, run off the ball like that, okay? You always want to kind of like, if you touch the ball, a good touch, you just touch the ball, good touch, you go outside.
So now the crossing technique. We did the first touch, we get in a good position with the ball, but you do not want to follow the ball. You want to go a little bit outside of the ball, go on the right side of the ball because you're going to cross the ball to the left, right? This allows your body to see the player you're going to cross to and makes it a better, more steady cross as well.
So now you see both your shoulders, you see the target. I would prefer you start with the low passes first, and you're going to try to finish it. You kick it over, you go get it.
So you can see that if we put a goal there, there's going to be a goalie, there's going to be a forward.
Any questions? There you are. To the middle, now we're going to say go.
All right, let's move on to the next one. These are just the explanation of the drill, and we're going to be showing you guys how it works in a bit. Now we saw the first cone, you back up defensively, you get the ball and you do a long pass. Second ball right here, you get it, one touch pass, you touch it that way and you cross the ball. Third one, you go back to this cone. There's 1, 2, 3 cones now. Third cone, you are defending the guy on the outside.
Defensive, outside mid. So now you get in here.
Look how I'm back here, left to right, and I'm moving not straight back but towards the goal.
I'm going to go again back to that cone. This time you should recognize.
And the last part. So you see there's 3 cones in here, right? The last part, you still need to go to this cone. What we talked about in the first session, we recognize the defender is coming close to you and opening up the through ball between the center back and the left back. So when you see that, you make a diagonal run to the yellow, and we give the center mid sees that through ball and gives a pass, and you cross that ball one touch. So you're recognizing 4 different things. 1, backing up, receiving the ball and doing a long ball to on the line. 2, touching the ball, crossing the ball. And 3, defending. And then once you're done defending all the way to these cones right here, you run to the orange cone.
You recognize that there is a through ball opportunity. Instead of staying wide, you started wide, or you start running diagonally. Ball is released. You touch it. You're closer. You can take a shot, or you can cross it again. Does that make sense? So what are we working on?
All right, guys. Hopefully you understand that. So there is 3 different areas. Now we're going to be seeing examples, a couple examples by the players. They're going to try to do it. and even pro players are struggling with some of this. So you guys understand this is not an easy drill, but it's a good drill for you guys to understand the outside mid movement.
Go. Good. Good.
He needs to go back to center.
Running up.
No, wrong way. Okay, and touch
That's it.
and cross.
Good. Get a minute. Go.
Defensive shape.
Defensive shape.
Good.
Good.
Going to the end.
That's it.
Through ball. Good. Finish. Ah, almost.
Go.
Rafa needs to be faster. Sorry, Rafa. All right. So this is explaining outside mid touches are different than center mid touch. And Rio is an outstanding top level center mid, but his touches are so close to him. I'm trying to explain to him here, he needs to do longer touch.
Long ball. Good. For a minute. Go. So you gotta go. Touch. Longer touch. You touch it like a center mid. Like because you're a center mid. So outside mid touches, guys. You give me a pass a little bit. So outside mids, they want to use their speed and touch. Look, long. I'm going around and I'm gonna pass the ball to the player. You should be finishing that. Always ball to start. Does that make sense?
So the outside mid touch is important that if you see the space, you touch it and you use your speed up there. I hope that explains. All right. Now the defensive movement, it's funny because even if you see it with all the players when they did this drill, their defensive backing up is not necessarily high level. I want you guys, when you're defending, when you're backing up, in this case, left hits the right and right backs up, and then left, right again, and because the ball is coming from in front of me from that side. So I want you guys to see the rhythm. It needs to be not 1 foot going back, 1 foot sideways. It needs to be both working together sideways, and you're going to be backing up a lot quicker. Number two, I want you to watch the fact that I'm going to be bending both my knees. Between the two, there's a question came, the through ball, he runs from here to the yellow cone. Between the two yellow cones, we pass the ball, but they run to this yellow cone first. When the pass comes, you start running, because if you start running early, you're offside. Does that make sense? So you get used to the timing of the run as well.
Defending that guy, right? So I'm backing up like this. That's a good movement right here.
Left to right, left to right. You see that? So when I did that, I want you guys to watch it again one more time. The movement, do you see that left comes to right? It almost hits it, keeps backing up, but it catches a rhythm. That makes you quicker when you're backing up. Okay? So it's important that you guys kind of see that movement. And this is every top defender, when they're defending, you need to learn this.
That's a good movement.
Lower, you see how lower I'm standing as well? Look at it here.
Good movement right here.
Let's go a little bit more back.
Not like this.
Look at how low I'm standing, because that's the defense. If you stand tall as a defender, you're not going to be quick enough to respond to the next ball. So it's important that you stay low, and look at how I'm ready to go either way. So when you're standing like this, so if the player beats you this way, I'm already facing that way. I can start sprinting. But if I'm both my shoulders, both my legs facing this guy, when he doesn't move on me and beats me, I have to turn all the way around to defend him. So sideways defending is critical for any defender.
That's a good movement right here. Then I go back to the through ball.
I hope that makes sense. For outside mid, that's important. Second player example. This is a center back from our Gala Pro team, Shamli. He's, I think, 6'4", and he actually did a good job. You know, he's a center back, so this is not a center back's movement at all, but he did a good job. Watch.
Go. Good. Good. Go. Ball. Control the ball. Okay. You did defense? Huh? Defense, go.
He forgot what's happening right now. I don't know. See, even him as a defender, if you see this right here, how I backed up versus how he's backing up. It's not steady to me, it's not in a rhythm to me, but it's not bad. It's probably one of the best ones.
One touch.
So the session will get easier for you if you just see what's happening. Now, because the explanation is tough, right? So because it's a hard drill, but look, 3 cones, 1 cone here and 1 cone here. This cone is the passer, so this has nothing to do with you. There's 4 cones you're working with. 1, you go come back, receive the ball. This is a defensive touch. As I explained at the beginning, now you're seeing the whole session. Look, the second one you touch, you're in the offensive side. Now you could cross. Third one, you defensive position. You're defending the outside mid, and then you come back to go outside again to go for a through ball. There's so many different movements, but it's a good movement. He kind of lost. I need to tell him. Come on, Shamli. That's a good finish, almost. Defend, go defend, but. So you're defending, you're facing the player that coming with the ball, and then go to the next one. You go to yellow line between the cones, you cross, you finish. Very simple when you actually watch it a couple times. Right now we just focus on this low crosses. If there is a defender on the way, obviously you might want to lift the ball up over, but right now low crosses are fine. Now Rio is going for the second one. Same drill. Touched. Long ball.
Next one.
Touched it. Crossed it. Finish it.
You want to touch it, guys?
He's already going to defensive.
As blue as you can. Okay, go ahead.
Not bad.
Diagonal coming.
Diagonal coming. He goes. Crosses. That's it. All right. Another one now. So you guys can get used to the reason I'm giving the example ones. So you guys can see the examples and see. I taught Hector is also a center back and it's defensive mid. But I taught Hector's touching here in the second drill, the second part of the session, is absolutely what an outside mid should be touching. A long touch away from pressure, opening his shoulder. I want you to pay attention to this one. This is absolutely good. But Hector's 1 is good, 2 is good, 3, the defensive movement, 1 knee straight, the other one goes to the side. It's awkward. He's not quick. So if for a defender, I'm disappointed with that, but I know he can fix it because he's a student of the game. And the last one is also not bad. Watch. Good touch. Watch this touch. Look at that. Wide and good cross. That's it.
See, that's not good, but we're going to fix that one. Go ahead.
It goes in the through ball. And we should have had a better finish by, watch this again. Long ball to there. Second one, you go wide. You touch it. Good cross.
See, that's the outside mid, right there.
Come back. Now this part I want you to watch. So Hector, if you're watching this, please pay attention to this. One knee, 1 foot is facing forward when the other one is going back. So you're not realizing, but both your knees should be facing the camera. Both your toes should be facing the camera. So it's one after another when you're backing up. But unfortunately, your one leg is facing one way and the other one. Watch.
See, that's not good, but
do you see that? I hope you see it, but because that's gonna make you. I mean, you played college soccer as a defender doing that. You could have probably played D1 soccer if you did it right. Look, that's not quick, and you're quick still, but you could be much quicker if you do it right.
we're going to fix that one. Go ahead.
And through ball. And Rafa's awful finishing. Sorry, Rafa. All right. So let's see. This one is for keepers. So can I see if there's any keepers in here? There's two exercises we're going to be doing with keepers in this live session. This is one of them. I seen this from a Greek national team goalie when we did that seminar, a coaching seminar. It's about like high balls right when you don't know if it's going to go over you or go to goal kick or corner. You are working on flicking the ball. That flick action, that one hand flick action, just to make sure that ball is going out. You kind of hit the post with your hand, kind of. So it's a good workout. The Greek national team goalie said it's a good workout, back and forth. Definitely not easy. It looks easy, guys, but if Parker, good. Gilberto, Austin, I don't know if he's here right now. A couple of the goalies, Nick, and this is a good workout for you guys.
Goalies can work on this. This is the ball that is a high ball.
Oh, the recording is really bad. My guys are not very good at directions, guys. I'm literally pointing at where to go, but he's going behind me. All right, so what we're gonna do in this, the goalie is gonna be in the middle. One cone, another cone up there. It's about 10 yards, and he's gonna be right in between, so 5 yards, maybe 6 yards, 12 yards you can do. You're gonna throw the high balls back and forth to each other. You'll see how it goes now, because you can't hear me in this.
Ball is coming over here. We visualize there's the post. It's around here, right?
The post, where the post is gonna be.
Flip the ball in an uncomfortable situation. So either going backwards, or here if the corner is coming and there's defenders and forwards coming in the way, he just needs to give it back to corner again.
Just watch the drill because it's hard to hear this one for sure.
You need to catch the ball as high as you can. You're gonna jump. Good.
Flick over.
That's what you're gonna back up to, and
So the
and flick. Good. And other way. Flick. Jump. That's good.
too low. That's a goal.
So
You need to make sure you do your shoulder up to be able to actually flick it over the post, because you don't want it to hit the post, right? That's horrifying. Throw, Hector. That's a good one right there. That's a good flick. So goalies, especially, this is a good movement, because when you're getting chipped, like especially from across, like the number one thing I hate, and if I was a goalie I would hate, is when somebody cross a ball and ends up being a goal in the back post. They don't even mean it, but they're celebrating to score an incredible goal. I hate those goals. So like in that case, if you're backing up and you're not sure, this is a good technique to do too. And when you catch off guard, you're too far up, you just need to get used to this technique with one hand, because it's really hard to do this with two hands. And that's what the Greek national team goalie told us as well, just to do it with one hand. So it's going back and forth with each other. This is a good exercise. And then we're going to go to the next one. So you can't see it, but we have about 3 shooters in different angles. One shooter here behind, one shooter here, one shooter up there. Working on closing the angles from different angles. So what I say in here, I don't know if the sound is going to be good enough to hear it. What I say is, one of our goalie trainers, when I played, it was a German goalie trainer, used to say, imagine when you're in the line, imagine you're holding a rope that is tied, or like a plastic rope, it's tied to one post, another post. So when you're closing an angle, you're pushing that. So it creates like a triangle, so you create the perfect angle. So what I'd say in here, you might not be able to hear. I will read that in a second, Gilberto. You might not be able to hear is, one of our goalie coaches used to say, give the guy one good shot to take. Give yourself one good save to make. Don't give yourself 2 saves. What does that mean? So if you go straight up from this angle, you give him the front post and the back post, now you have to make 2 good saves wherever he shoots. But if you close the front post, the only good save you need to make is the back post. Does that make sense? Let me see what Gilberto said. Yeah, so that's why I was saying there, Gilberto, it needs to be higher. You need to just visualize where the post is. So this could be a very good session with the goal, right? If you're going to be doing it alone. But one good thing about this, going back and forth, you just get used to that action. But any good goalie knows where the post is. So they just need to make sure that flick, a couple of, Rafa is not a keeper. So when he did that flick, it was definitely a great couple flicks over. And those are the ones I said to him, those are good. And nope, that's going to be a goal. That's going to be a goal. So I keep saying it to him, which ones work, which ones wouldn't, right? That's when you do that session, that you just need to make sure you do that.
He can come out like this. He doesn't see that shot.
And set up low, always set up low for the shots. He's giving, see, when he comes out straight up, he gives the front post, back post.
Both sides now. Okay, you want to make sure you close at least one. You need to make it stay good.
And you're going to do the same thing. So outside, you need to make sure you come out and close that angle, front post here, when the shooter from here. But when the shooter is in the center, all you have to do is you pass the blue, go a little bit further just to close his angles to both the corners. Because he might be able to shoot both the corners. There's not much you can do. You can't just give him one corner this time because the ball is in the center. Correct? So it needs to be a good one.
But only one hard save. When you're standing in the middle, two hard saves. You understand that? All right, ready? Go! Good. Next one. Go! Good. Next one. Set. Go, let him sit.
See, that was bad because his shot was bad too, but he went straight up instead of the closing that angle there. So the shooter didn't see that opening right here. He just shoot it straight to the keeper, which wasn't very smart. So this is a good example. Hector actually is a natural goalie, I'm telling you. Close the angle. Great save. Goes back. Comes back out. Good save. Good save. All right. So it's a simple session just to close angles. And with a good goalie trainer, you guys can actually perfect your technique and perfect your, set. The setup, how you set for a shot, wait for a shot, it changes goalkeeper to goalkeeper. But a lot of the European goalkeeper trainers, they want you to set when a shot is going to come as low as you can. Because they say you can always go high, but it's harder to save something on the low. So set up a lower. That's what European goalie trainers do. You'll be working with different goalie trainers with us too. They might be saying different things to a point, but number one thing is your angles. Your angles going to be the same all around the world. Every goalie trainer is going to be good at that. And if they're not, they won't be working for us. They definitely. We got some good goalie trainers in our club, Regis and Gilberto knows the game very well. So I think they'll do well with you guys. Exactly. Positioning is everything for a keeper. So these are some simple drills. Keeper training is not my specialty for sure. But, there are some sessions that I learned throughout my years that, I'm just showing you guys a couple. And Gilberto said he's going to send some sessions. I hope in this century he's going to send it to us so I can share it with you guys. All right. So this one is a 4 different shots from a cross or a ball coming from the side. So one is the bouncing ball. You need to find a good timing to hit it. And second one is right here is gonna be coming is a header, redirecting header. We kind of talked about that before. Remember in the couple sessions before I showed you guys how to hit it in my living room. But we can go over it in here again if you have a question. Third one is acting like you're gonna take a shot with one foot, but you need to make sure you raise your arm to make it perfect fake. And cut it to the other foot and shoot the ball with your other foot. And the fourth one is, it's a very different technique. This one is a only forwards technique. When you're dealing with a big center back trying to push it off the ball, you can't be turning like a center mid because they're not going to let you. So you need to make sure that you touch it away from the player and create a shot with your opposite foot. So please pay attention to this.
So guys, 4 different types of shots coming from across. One up there is going to be a bouncing ball. You're going to do a Beckenbauer hit, hit your heel, inside shoulder open towards your target. You need to find the timing. Timing is this.
First one is the Beckenbauer hit your heel to the ground, what we always work on in the pass. And if the ball is too high, you can go over the ball. Several times these guys did that. Over the ball is a good technique too. But I was really looking for that Beckenbauer hit, which is okay. There was a couple times it happened. This has kind of happened, but it's not really what I wanted. But it's a good try. So the first one is all about the timing of when the ball is bouncing and hitting the ball with a bounce, which is one of the most common shots has to happen in a game situation because it must hit one of the defenders. It was a hard cross to do, so the ball is usually bouncing.
When the ball is about to hit the ground, you hit it. If it bounces and going up and you hit it, it's going to go over.
Okay, a good question came before I continue. So, Eva, we can't answer that because it has to be the situation. I mean, a low cross is the best cross because it's easiest to finish. Okay, but if the defender is not giving you a low cross, then you're gonna have to lift the ball over them, right? So it's situational. Where is the defenders? That's why. But best crossers are usually if they see an opportunity to do a low pass, a hard-driven pass on the ground, just to tap it in, they will prefer that. But if there is defenders on the way, obviously they're gonna have to do a good curving cross to back post to in the blind spot by the keeper. That's a perfect position to finish.
You understand? So you need to find the timing of right there when it's going to hit the ground.
Do you see that timing?
Otherwise, it's not going to be steady. So if I did this, ball is bouncing, right? I bounced and I did this, it's going to be awkward.
It's awkward. It's not steady hit.
Find the timing of the hit. Second one is the only one who did it right, by the way, was Strongly. Redirecting hitter. Low to the target. Third one is acting like you're going to take a shot with one foot. Act, arm up, and switch the foot to the other one to shoot. It needs to look like you're going to shoot the ball though. This is not going to cut it.
Yeah, look, a lot of people do fakes like that, arms closed. If they do that like that, it's not believable. The defender is not going to fall for the fake. So one arm up is usually how you're going to shoot the ball, so that's believable. Ava, yes, you can take a German off if you do this right. And send a video of it, of course. So a lot of times, players, because they're not selling the move well, they don't get a clear shot. The better you sell the fake, more clear shot you're going to have, okay?
It needs to look like I'm going to shoot that ball cut. Now other foot shoots the ball. And the last one is a forward movement. You can help me pass me a ball. That one. This is a forward movement. Defender is on me. Slow motion. Ball's coming. I step to the player. I touch it away. And shoot the ball to the side.
Do you see that idea? One foot blocks the player. Last week we worked on this as a center mid move. We turn the ball with our right foot. We step to the player, but we turn the ball. With a center back, you can't really do that because they're going to be pushing. They know they can't give you a chance to turn. So it's not going to be that easy. So that's why the forwards usually touch it a little bit away to create a shot with their opposite foot. That one I'm going to explain a little bit more in detail now. Just pay attention.
Big center back. So if you pull it, in center back it looks good. But center back, arm on you. Inside the box, you're not going to let you turn easy. So create an angle, this is a different touch. You touch it away, create an angle for another shot. One more time, make it. Go! Block the guy, touch, jump. It's okay. Then, big center back.
So left foot steps, right foot touches. A little bit away I would prefer. He still kind of pulls it, which looks good, but a center back giving a body push, it's not going to be that easy. Okay? I'm going to rewind back to some of the questions. It's really hard, Kim, to do that, but I'll try. What cross would be the best on the outside miss, she asked. So I'm hoping that you guys are reading the questions, because it's really going to be taking 4.5 hours if I try to read all this, because I have to scroll it up in the camera when I'm doing this. Yeah, I will fix that later. I'll try to make another way. Okay. So it's really hard to go back and forth with that for sure. So right here, you can see the left foot steps towards the player and right foot touches it away. You get an angle, so you have to shoot from the opposite side. Does that make sense? All right. Let's see it one more time.
So if you pull it,
That's too close to the defender. You see that when you pull it?
but center back, arm on you. Inside the box, you're not gonna let it turn. To create an angle, this is a different touch. You touch it away.
I need a shot now.
One more time, Nathan. Go! Block the guy. Touch. Shot.
You have to switch the feet to shoot the ball. It's not bad. It's not my first choice, but it's not bad. This is the first 3 examples.
Time it.
Timed it good. He went over, but that's good. He timed it well.
Good finish. That's why you gotta wait back. Don't move forward so you see the bounce. Yep.
Redirecting header.
Hit it to the side.
Beautiful hit. So when you do that, that's a great, like, side of your head. It confuses the goalie. It hits before that gets to the keeper. It makes it really hard for keeper to guess exact timing.
Yep. Hit it to the side.
Beautiful.
That's complicated, huh? Yeah. Very bouncy. Go. Yeah, he's got that back. Act. Nice.
Look at that. It makes it believable. The first act right there makes it believable.
Technique again. That's not what I'm going for, but good finish. That's why you gotta wait back. Don't move forward so you see the bounce. Yep. Hit it to the side. Beautiful. That's complicated, huh? Yeah. Very bouncy. Go. Yeah, he's got that back. Act. Nice. Beautiful.
Okay. Let me see. No, you don't have to give spin. It's just a bouncing ball, so it's really hard to, like, we don't, this is not really crosser's job. Right now, we're not really working on crossing, Ava. The crossing session was the one before. I mean, this one, like, if you're gonna be really in the game, you know, crossing, we don't want that ball to bounce. So you're gonna try to pass it as low as you can. But these are like, yeah, these are making sure that you know, we kind of deal with hard situations, like when the ball is high, when the ball is bouncing, when the player is coming at you, when defender is too close and you don't really have a shot. So these are situations that you create a shot for yourself. Does that make sense? So this is more for the offensive players than the outside mids right now. That's why I said at the beginning there is going to be some sessions with the outside mids and outside the forwards finishing or center mids finishing. I'm going to give a couple more examples with that session again, the 4, so you guys can watch it in fast. Checked, touch.
Go.
He goes to the end, touches it, and hopefully good finish. Nope. Defensive shape. Go to the end again. Go for a diagonal. One touch. See, Rafa needs to be a little bit quicker there. That was a great pass, like away from the possible defensive lines, away from keeper, and it was a great pass. In this place, Ava, what the technique you can use is the Beckenbauer technique. You hit your heel to the ground, and if you want to give it a little spin, you slide your heel just a little bit, and it will give an extra spin to the ball. So I'll show you that. We just kind of worked on that last week. I posted it in the video. Let's see, where is it? Okay, watch this one. First inside foot passing, but steady. I'm gonna slide my. I'm gonna go a little bit further so we can go. I'm gonna aim that way, but I'm gonna. So I want you to visualize. Now, this could be a through ball. This could be a pass to a long ball to a forward or a cross. Now watch the technique. I'm gonna hit my heel to the ground. I'm gonna move it towards the ball, but I'm gonna hit it really hard to the ground, so it's gonna hit the ball really hard too. But I'm gonna slide my heel a little bit and watch the spin. Pass the ball. Step in front of the cone, please. In front of the cone. Yes, thank you. So I'm gonna hit it to his right, my left, and I'm gonna slide my foot so it can spin. Okay? On the ground, a little bit hard is fine, but you're gonna slide your heel a little bit. Okay? So I'm hitting it. Look. So harder you hit it, more spin it's gonna have, and it's gonna be more steady too. This could be a good cross around the defenders to the forward in the blind spot. Okay, so this is a good technique. Again, if you want to watch it again, I'm hitting my heel to the ground. And I'm going to slide my foot so it can spin. Okay. I wonder if there is like a slow version of this you can do. But on the ground, a little bit hard is fine, but you're going to slide your heel a little bit. Okay. So I'm hitting it. So I'm setting up, look at my arm. This is how people shoot and pass a long ball too. So this is if you're gonna do a fake, it needs to kind of look like this at that moment, by the way. That'll be a good example. All right, right here, I'm gonna hit the ball around here, this part of the ball, and I'm gonna spin to the ball, but I'm gonna hit it around here. So it can spin into the player, which makes it even more complicated for defense and keeper to deal with. Look at it spin, it goes right to the player. It takes a while to get used to this technique and get it down and perfect it for sure. But you want to make sure that you do a good job with that. I'm going to give you another example with that. Let's see the example with outside mid example with 5. This is the 5. Hector's example absolutely in the outside mid is my favorite, except defensive movement. Again, this session, I want you guys to kind of see. Okay, I didn't know that. Gilberto, thanks for letting me know. So you guys can slow down the hit in YouTube, I guess. All right, so watch the session again. The 3 cones in here and 1 cone here. He comes back as a defensive, backing up. He receives the ball, gives a pass to right forward. Comes back, goes outside mid. Now he goes for the cross, goes around it, crosses it.
That's the outside mid, right there. Defensive shape.
Defensive shape, goes to the defense, backing up. Not a great backing up, but good still. Goes for the diagonal. He waits a little too long for a diagonal. I would get the ball a little bit before too. What I mean by that is I would go to the yellow cone, like I said, and catch the ball. Catch the ball right around there, but I'll show you again.
Good. See, that's
Look at his defensive shape, run again.
Defensive shape. See, that's not good, but we're gonna fix that one. Go ahead.
All right, let me see this slow motion touch. Now, I would want Hector to be a little bit more outside the ball because he's still facing the ball, and Cross is not that comfortable. He doesn't really see where the player is, but it's not a bad cross. It's a horrible finish for sure. This slow. I'm gonna. That sounds really weird, but in this one we can actually see Hector. You can see your defensive movement. Look at that. One knee goes. It's not quick. It's not a good technique. It's definitely not a good technique. And right here, When he's running, look, he's moving towards, that makes him offside. If he moves this way and then waits for the timing well, he can catch the ball around here and he could have a shot or a better pass option. But he is going deep, which is allowing the defenders to even step. Look, he's letting it run. That's either offside or the defender is closing the angle now. You need to get to the ball as quick as you can. That's why diagonal runs are important. Gilberto, thank you for that, by the way. We can go back to that. Where was the one, the long ball? Yeah. Now I know how to do that, thanks to you. Let's try that right here. All right, let's do this slow motion. All right, right there. Look, I went across, but I hit my heel at the end and I stopped my foot. Do you see that? A lot of players don't understand. I like this one because watch this. See, this is a good shape to hit the ball. Now, right here, a lot of people, when I say to them, hit your heel to the ground, they hit it where it is. I always say then across the ball. Like you need to make sure you end up, if the ball is here, when you hit your heel, it's going to be in front of it, right around here. So you can kick it forward, but you can also slide your heel. That's going to give a little spin to the ball. Look, do you see that? At the end, I hit my heel, my toes were up. After that, I put my toes down, but when I hit the ball, it was up. Does that make sense? Right? When it's slow motion, it's hard to read when it's coming, but look at this spin after the ball hits. Look at that ball turning now. The ball is turning and right to the player's right foot. Perfect. Okay, so it's important that you guys got that. Gilberto, thank you for your help with that one. That was great. All right. So any questions about outside movement? We explained it in here. Where do we use it? Where we can actually use this session that we just did. It's not an easy session. It is not an easy session, but it covers all the movements. Not all of them. There's always some more movements, but all the major movements of an outside mid. Reading a through ball. Reading that the long ball is not going to come, so you need to back up and help the defense and give an option there. Defensive movement. And then read the long ball that is going to come to you, so your first touch needs to go forward so you can beat the player and have a cross right away. Those things are very useful for the outside mids to have. Just a little bit, but you got to bring your heel down. You're going to hit the ball. I mean, I can do the same hit without even lifting my foot up at all. But you got to have to kind of give some, because you're moving forward, you're stepping, right? So that makes it a little bit high, but not too high. And all these videos, by the way, is available in our YouTube page. So you guys can go in there, and it's not going to be available forever for everybody. So I would start watching it now. People who has not registered, you won't be able to see it anymore. And please, everybody, I know that it's hard times. Like I said, we're trying to work with everybody. So try to register to support our club. We're working really hard in these hard times. Most clubs are charging their players, and they're not even doing this stuff. They're charging their players. They're just sending videos of homework. That's it. And these are constantly learning. We're trying really hard to teach you guys. So please respect our hard work. And like I said, if you guys have any problems, we're always trying to work with you too. And hopefully you guys respect that as well. In this part though, when you guys are watching these videos, please, like Gilberto showed us how to do that, go to the settings. Please slow down the session to see what's happening, what's the right technique, so you can perfect it. Okay, this session is probably one of the hardest ones to teach, and also our videos are, like Kim is saying right now, in our website under videos, and they have to log in to see it, so that's going to be even better. And like I said, we are going to take logins from players who has not registered this year. You want to make sure that everybody tries to register and talk to us if you have any problems. Like I said, we're not going to refuse anybody because of finances. We're going to try to work with you. Don't worry. But people who can pay, we appreciate you because we are trying to make sure we are coming back strong next year as a club. Okay? We appreciate you guys' support, and I hope that you appreciate what we're doing right now. Is there any questions? I take questions now about anything. Please write down your questions. And thank you for Joe and Jeff for volunteering to help with this. They're taking time from their families and work even to come and help us out, which I really, really appreciate. This is not a fun session, Jason, but thank you. I appreciate it. Outside mid stuff is always a little bit hard to explain and hard to get into, but it's definitely useful. And this is a very easy drill once you get it down. There's 4 different movements. I get it, but once you get it, you can do it so many times, and it's making you move. It's a good exercise. I think it's definitely useful. For the first one, the longer touch and the second touch, on the second one, I'm guessing. So yeah, for that one, we need to make sure that, let me go back to that. I see the question on you guys, I hope that you guys reading the questions, but here's the trick about Kim, about reading questions. When the questions goes up, I need to literally touch the screen of my camera and it moves it. So I need to scroll down, and it's really hard to get the questions. And so when I read the question, I usually answer it right there. So I hope that everybody kind of reads the questions, but it's going to be really tough for me to do it smooth, but I'll try. So in this one, on the first drill, we really focus on the longer touch on the second cone. Yep. The idea here,
Touch it.
see right there, let's do Gilberto's little trick, but I'm going to make it a little bit slower right here. No, it's not here. Okay.
Touch it.
So right there, that's a center mid touch. Perfect, close enough to you. And you should do that if if you're in the center area. But outside mids need to go to goal, go to space right away, because outside mids job is different. Nobody's going to be defending the line. It's weird to defend the line, right? Because they need to defend the goal. So you need to take space as much as you can, as much as they allow it. So your first touch needs to be as close as the line as possible and away from the cone. A lot of players, when they do this session, they touch the first ball towards the red, and now the defender's coming at you, so you need to do another trick just to take him on. And most of the time, if the defender sees that you lost the control of the ball, he's going to come in hard, and you're not going to be able to touch it. So that's why, was it this one? Was it this one? That one right there was a good example. This one right here. Look at that touch away, and it's moving. Look at where it's moving. It's so much far from the red pressure. So if the player was running in, now he's following. It's absolutely a great touch right there. Like I'm so proud of Hector for that first touch. Kept it away, kept it wide. I just wanted to go a little bit more outside of the cone so he can see the cross better. And we need to teach Rafa how to do headers. That will be the second thing in this video. Oh yeah, for sure. Hector is saying outside mids being in good condition is most important, and getting out there and staying in shape, which this session is for sure it's doing. Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. This session is all about outside mid movement, and you get used to that repetition of movement, facing the ball with two shoulders. You know how many times players, like, let's go back to the beginning of this drill right here. Let's go to after this. You know how Hector goes back to center? You should be in the center more, but they usually wait around here, and they're not using the field as much as they can. Further you are and I know it's going to be work for you, and a lot of players don't want to do that, but further you are on the line as an outside player, more space you're going to have for the next thing you're going to do. And it's going to spread out the other team even more. That's a key word right there. If wider you are, it's going to spread out the other team more, which gives more spaces in between. When you receive the ball in here, some outside mids go all the way here. They're 10 yards away inside the post. And that makes it so easy to defend for outside and for the rest of the team. So wider you are as an outside mid, the more openings you guys are going to see. Especially when the ball goes wide and he's receiving the ball all the way on the line. That's going to be creating a lot more opportunities for you guys. Is there any other questions? Yeah, wider makes more space away from pressure. It's a huge point. And I don't know how many times in a game you can hear me yelling it, go to the line, stay wider, come to the line, on the line. What the heck? Like they just won't do it, and that's actually not allowing them to have the space. And they are, literally getting the ball because they don't want to make that extra run at the beginning. Like literally, if you make it run for 2 seconds, you will have a lot less running after. But you don't get it. You just want to be lazy, and then now you have to run more because you just lost the ball. Okay, it's smarter to be receiving the ball in a more open away from pressure area, and you can keep the possession of the ball, which is going to make you run less. That's the solution. So I hope that these sessions kind of open eyes for some of you guys. Why, for example, someone like me, why am I so passionate about go wide as for my outside mid? Stay on the line, stay wide, come back to the line. And they're just like looking at me like, why? Players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi receives the ball literally on the line. Thierry Henry receives the ball on the line. Watch, research Thierry Henry talking about Barcelona. One thing that he said, I didn't understand why Guardiola wanted a forward to go all the way to the line. Then I realized we spread out the other team and we open up a lot of opportunities. Like, you got to watch these things. Like, when he went to Barcelona, the first thing he did as a forward, he went and wait on the white line as wide as he can. Spread out defense, do a quick give and go, or receive the ball, dribble, and pass the ball, and now you have a lot more space because you spread the team. Barcelona is all about finding those through balls. So to be able to create that through balls, you need to make sure your outside players are very important. So this is what people don't realize. They, when they look at Barcelona, they're thinking amazing passing, but how do they create that passing shape? If Barcelona was a narrow team, they will never be able to make a name for themselves as the possession team of the century. Because they keep the wide players so wide and involve them so much, that's why the other team has to go wide as they can when they're defending. Okay? Like I said, I'm disappointed with the lack of questions, but I'm hoping that it's just shyness. But I really want to, Ava, 13-year-old girl is asking questions. I don't understand why, older players, girls and boys, are not asking. Well done, Ava, today. I appreciate you. I respect you a lot. And I hope I was able to answer your questions as much as I can. Thank you guys for the session. I appreciate you. Have a good night.